As a student planning to pursue your master's degree abroad, a question that you might have asked yourself several times is, which country should I pursue my master's degree from? Should I study in the US, or then should I consider comparatively cheaper options such as the UK or Ireland? Or then should I consider studying in Canada or Australia, because getting a PR, that is permanent residency, in these countries is comparatively easier? Now, let me tell you that there is no one country that is a best fit for everybody. In this video, I'll briefly discuss the factors that you should consider when deciding on the country that is a best fit for you. At the end of this video, that is after watching this video, if you still have doubts, feel free to connect with me for a personalized one-on-one counseling session, and I'll be more than happy to discuss your profile and help you identify which country should you pursue your master's degree from. The details to get in touch with me are mentioned in the description of this video. When it comes to a master's degree abroad, each country has different options and have also varying selection and eligibility criteria. Understanding the options available to you and also the selection and eligibility criteria is the first step in deciding the country of your choice. As you can see on the screen, the US or UK offer a comparatively higher number of universities for you to choose from, whereas the choice of universities in Ireland or Canada is comparatively very limited. Also, most universities in the US or Canada require you to have a 4-year bachelor's degree. Now, some universities in the US have started accepting a 3-year bachelor's degree from India, whereas most of the universities in Australia, UK or Ireland accept a 3-year bachelor's degree from India. Now, when it comes to entrance exams, most universities in the US require you to give the GRE or GMAT in addition to an English language exam, which is the TOEFL or IELTS. Whereas most other countries, that is universities in most other countries, do not require the GRE or the GMAT. Only the TOEFL or IELTS or any one of the English language exams is accepted. When it comes to selection criteria, most universities in Canada are very selective and have very stringent requirements when it comes to applications and admissions. Whereas getting admission from a UK, Ireland or an Australian university is comparatively easier. Also, the time taken to give out a decision on your application by most UK universities is comparatively shorter. Some UK universities would even roll out decisions within 1 or 2 weeks of filing an application. Whereas when it comes to US or Canadian universities, the turnaround time can be as high as 6 to 8 weeks, in some cases even higher than 10 weeks. So taking into consideration your past academic profile, the test that you have already given or are willing to give, the overall timelines, and your future goals as well as the subject that you want to specialize in, you can then decide which country offers the best options for you. Now, the next important factor that you should consider when deciding on which country should you pursue your master's from is the total cost of education in that country. Now, as you can see on the screen, I have listed down the approximate total cost of tuition and living that students typically incur in each of these countries. This is just an approximate cost to give you an idea of the budgets that you should be planning for. For example, if you are planning for a master's degree in the US, you should have an approximate budget of 50 to 55 lakhs. Of course, if you get scholarships or if you do some part-time jobs or get internships while studying in that country, your total cost would reduce. But when it comes to planning for your master's, these are the approximate budgets that you should be ready with. Another important factor that you should consider is the kind of career opportunities that would be available to you after you complete your master's from that particular country. For instance, you should do some research on the job market in that country, especially in the subject that you plan to pursue your master's degree in. What kind of salaries can you expect after you graduate from your master's degree? And what are the work permit rules in that country? That is, most countries give you up to 2 to 3 years of work permit after you graduate from your master's degree. But if you have to continue working in that country for a longer period of time, that is beyond the post-study work permit, then what are the rules for that? How easy or how difficult is it to get that? If you want to apply for a PR, then what are the rules for that? And how easy or difficult is it to get that? And so on. All this will kind of give you an idea on the kind of returns that you can expect after you complete your master's degree. Now, as you can see, I have listed down the duration of the post-study work permit that you would be eligible for after completing your master's degree from each of these countries. Similarly, I also listed the approximate average salaries that students earn in each of these countries after graduating from a master's degree. As you can see, the salaries seem to be highest in the US. However, if you plan to continue working in that country on a long-term basis, then getting a long-term work permit or a PR, that is a permanent residency, seems to be much easier in Canada, Australia, or than the UK or Ireland as compared to the US as of today. So when deciding on which country you should pursue your masters from, and while calculating the returns that you expect, you should consider all these factors because that will help you make a much conscious decision on where should you pursue your master's degree from. Now, students and parents often ask which country offers the highest return on investment. And generally, that is a very difficult question to answer because while calculating the return on investment, there are a lot of factors that you will have to consider. But if you just simply compare the cost of education versus the salaries that you can expect after graduation, then this is what you get. Now, as you can see from the graph, US might appear to offer the highest return on investment. And that is true to some extent. Because salaries in the US are comparatively the highest. There is no denying that. But when you consider factors such as long-term stay and stability, countries such as UK, Ireland, Canada, Australia are equally good options. Now, when you consider the return on investment factor, you should not just look at the cost versus the salary that you can expect, but also consider the job opportunities for your course, that is for the subject that you plan to pursue your master's in, the long-term stay options that are available in that country, and of course, what are your plans and future goals. Now, beyond the US, UK, Ireland, Australia, and Canada, there are a few good options available in Europe as well, especially in countries such as the Germany, Netherlands, France, Sweden, Denmark, and a few others. There are also some good universities in Singapore. And now, although these countries may not have as many universities as there are in the UK or the US, there are definitely some good universities that you could consider. Also, the cost of education in some of these countries is comparatively much lower than that in the US, Canada, or the UK. So, in conclusion, I would say that there is no one factor that would determine which country is the best for you. There are several factors, and I hope this video gave you an overview on what factors to consider when deciding on which country to pursue your master's from. As I mentioned earlier, if you still have doubts, I would be more than happy to do a one-on-one free counseling session for you where we can discuss your profile individually and help you decide which country or which university should you pursue your master's from. Feel free to get in touch with me directly. My contact details are mentioned in the description of this video, or you could just go to my website www.academy1.net and fill in the request for counseling form that is there. Thank you for watching my video and I hope you found this informative.